Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today with Paul Cushing. Paul Cushing is a 34-year veteran in the sports field and golf course industries. Paul started in the sports field industry when he was just 13 years old, where he attended his first SFMA conference in Phoenix, Arizona. While attending the conference, Paul was able to sit at the head conference speaker table with SFMA pioneers Dr. Kent Kurtz, Harry Gill, Dr. Bill Daniels, and Joe Torre. After that incredible experience, he was hooked to the turf business for life. In high school, Paul worked on the field crew at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, as well as working part-time at the SFMA national office located in Upland. Paul has a degree from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, a BS in ornamental horticulture with an emphasis in turfgrass management and soil science. In 2016, after a successful 27-year career in the golf business, Paul started his own consulting business with Paul Cushing Sports Turf Agronomic Consulting Services. Paul works with numerous professional, university, college, high school, and youth fields all throughout the state of California. He has a distinct ability to bring professional type playing conditions to every level of sports fields with common sense agronomic solutions that rejuvenate fields and work at all levels of management or budget structure. All right, Paul, we will let you get started here. I'm going to share my screen.
Awesome, Jennifer. Are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Jennifer, and thanks so much for having me today. I'm excited to be with you guys. I think the first picture that we're sharing on the screen with you guys pretty much tells you what this session is going to be like. So this is in preparation. We're going to be talking about rejuvenating your baseball field for a brand new season coming up. And this slide just it's kind of the epitome of what this session is going to be like. It's going to be a great combination from A to Z of everything baseball, getting your field ready, obviously from growing grass to understanding your soils down below, dirt management, water management practices, everything that you can think of, we're going to be talking about during this session. So this is I wanted to do this to get everybody excited about coming out and being a part of this. So we've got a few pictures we're going to go through today. We're going to go through some quick slides, and then we're going to do some pictures to kind of get your appetite wet a little bit on what's going on. So just as a reminder, this session will be taking place in Daytona Beach on Wednesday, January 24th at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're going to have to behave yourselves the night before so that we can get you guys there at 8 o'clock in the morning. So anyways, a little bit about the picture on the front here. These are, as Jennifer mentioned, I work with anyone from anywhere from the professional ranks all the way to Little League. And I'm a little bit unique in that not only am I a sports turf manager, sports field manager, but also was a high school baseball coach. So did this for our teams. And one of the slides you can see, that's one of our teams coming and doing the work on the field. I owned a travel baseball program down in the San Diego area. And was a high school coach. So I've been doing this. Not only do I do this as a profession, but I also was doing it on the high school level. So this will be fun. We'll be sharing lots of pictures on that. So Jennifer, we can go to the next slide here. So as Jennifer had mentioned, I actually started my first baseball field at the age of 10, and by the time I was 13, I was absolutely hooked. So started in the sports field industry once I got to high school and college. The allure of more money and free golf kind of took me over to the golf side of this, but I still always remained really close from a sports turf management standpoint. And so it's fun for me. 7 years ago, I started my own company where it's kind of brought me back to my roots of managing sports fields and getting involved with football, soccer, baseball, you name it. And so 7 years ago, I started my own company. We do soil and water testing through this. And I liken this as a sports field manager as we look at grass and all we want to do is fixate on what's going on up on top. And it's really what's going on down below is the key driver in making ourselves successful with our fields. And it's a little bit like a doctor. You go into a doctor doesn't just look at you and go, hey, I'm going to pull your appendix out. No, they look at you, okay, we're going to pull some blood work, we're going to understand what's going on inside of you. And that's a lot what you do with the soil and the water testing. And so that's part of my company. I'm independent. I'm not affiliated with anyone. So fertility recommendations, we're talking about balancing your soil, correcting your soil chemistry. Those are all key things of what I do. I do day visits on sites. We do monthly visits and all sorts of things, spraying, fertilizing, it's all there. So you see my website on the slide there. We'll also hit upon that later on as well. So if you're interested, pcturfpro.com, just to kind of see some pictures of what it is I do and kind of the different places I do it. So, okay, Jennifer, next slide, please. All right, so let's get into, this gives you a little teaser of what we're going to be talking about when we get to Daytona Beach. We're going to be looking proper turfgrass selection and management practices. Do you have the right grass on your field? Are we at the right height of cut? Mowing frequency, making sure we're cleaning clippings when we're done. All those sort of things will be things that we'll touch upon during this. And it's fun. This is this slide, as you can see, this is one of my clients. This is San Marcos High School in the San Diego area. This was them winning the CIF championship a couple of years ago, and we're going to be piling on some really good information here as we get through this. So talking about proper turfgrass types and all sorts of mowing, everything. Next part of it, as we alluded to a little bit earlier, we're going to talk about soil testing, understanding the results of those soil tests, and how we can take that and implement that into our programs to make our fields healthier. As I do thousands and upon thousands of soil tests a year. A lot of times our fields have really good nutrient value inside of them. It's a lot of times we find our chemistry is all out of whack and locked up through salts, through different things going on in our soils. And so by leaching some of these salts, using some really cool, getting in, doing some aerification programs, doing some physical aeration to kind of open that channel up, and then getting in and, using gypsums, using high cal limes, leaching salts, and balancing our soils. So we'll be talking a lot about soil chemistry at this. We'll be talking, I would encourage you guys that if you haven't done soil testing, do some soil testing on your fields before you come to this session. Bring your soil samples. We'll talk through it. We'll meet one-on-one either before or after, and we can kind of look and see what you've got and some different things to help you. So as I alluded to earlier, we're going to talk a lot about aerification, cultural practices to help get our fields ready for the season. And not only as we're getting ready for the season, but as the season's going on, things that we're going to be doing, when the team goes on the road, or you've got some breaks in the season where we can get in and do some quick tweaking on your fields. Dirt management, mound management, preparation, all these things we're going to go through. I will tell you, I'll give you a sneak preview and just let you know that water, getting water on our dirt, having water and as a part of this is a big part of it. So many fields that I see, where they don't put any water on the dirt and it's bone dry, it's hard, it's dangerous. So getting water, we're going to talk about watering our fields, watering our dirt, watering our mounds, keeping that moisture content at a perfect level. So that'll be, we'll be discussing that when we get together. Proper height of cut of mow, are you mowing your field at 3/8 of an inch? Is it too fast for the team that you've got? Are you mowing your field at 2 inches or 3 inches? Are your outfielders getting lost out in the outfield? Those are all things that we'll talk about. Use of growth regulators, things to help kind of keep you at a proper height of cut. And so that'll be what we'll work on. Irrigation strategies, watering the field, in preparation for your season, getting your moisture content right, and then keeping it there during the course of the season. We know we're going to get some rain. We know we're going to have some challenges with weather during our season, making sure that our field is dry enough to be able to handle if we do get some rain, making sure that our fields are playable throughout the entire season. So anyways, that's just a quick teaser for what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be going through in the session. Jennifer, we're going to go to the next slide here. I want to give you guys some fun. I like pictures. Pictures tell 1,000 words here. And so wanted to send you some pictures. We'll go through just a couple of scenarios while we're here. We're going to be doing a lot of this as we get into our session. We'll be doing a lot of kind of before and after, and we'll be talking about scenarios as we go. So this is Jackie Robinson Stadium. This is the home of UCLA baseball. UCLA, very historic program here in Southern California. This stadium is historic. Jackie Robinson Stadium's been around since the 1950s. It's one of the top venues that we've got in Southern California. And so this is really cool. So some pictures you can see, kind of see some before pictures, wear and tear. This field, this was right after fall season, very hard on the field. They practice 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And so they're hard wear on their field. You can see the picture to the right. You've got, this field has a base of Bermuda grass. It's got some kikuyu grass in it. It's got some ryegrass. It's got all sorts of things going on. So Jennifer, if you can click twice, you should be able to get, there we go. And one more time to get the other one. Perfect. So these are kind of some before and after pictures, and this is about 3 months apart. So these pictures, the before pictures were taken in October. The after pictures were taken in February as they were getting ready for their season. So you can see a difference in the color of the turf. You can see, we've filled in some of these areas. This field, we did a lot of verification. We did some soil testing. We understood we had some salt issues on this field. So we came in, we did some gypsum applications. We did some leaching, put some potassium down to build some turgidity with our turf and some resiliency. And you can really see a change in the color. The outfield in particular on the right, you can see a definite evened up the color. We didn't have the splotchiness that we had before, proper height of cut, really good mowing equipment. We came in, sharpened reels, got our height of cut right. So this is kind of a fun example of kind of what we're going to be going through. This is Jackie Robinson Stadium. I'll also be sharing, we're doing some work on the infield with this right now. Just did a recent overseed, and so we'll share some pictures of that as well. Okay, Jennifer, I want to go to the next one. This is a recovery process, and I do have a bunch of, we have some broken fields that we'll be going through, and we'll be explaining what has gone on. This is near and dear to my heart. This is where I went to school, and Cal Poly has an incredible baseball program. This is a fairly brand new field. This field is less than 20 years old. They had some huge issues, as you can see. Had some really bad salt issues. We had some high salt numbers. The field wasn't draining very well. Fun story about this field. They got 1/10 of an inch of rain, and they had a rain out on this field. That's how bad their soil chemistry was. Is this field was just locked up. And wouldn't receive water. We couldn't grow grass on it. It didn't handle traffic very well. So this was right after their baseball season. This was a few years ago. This picture was taken in July after their season had ended. They had 1/10 of an inch of rain, and they had a rain out, which just tells you everything you need to know. So we came in and did some soil testing on this field, found some really unique things. We were using gypsum on the infield because of our sulfur content. With the sulfur content being high on the back cut apron in the outfield, we were using high cal lime on those. And so you can see on the picture on the right, dead areas, worn areas, dry areas, wet areas. This field had it all. So Jennifer, if you could click twice, we'll move on to the following pictures. This is the same field. The picture to the left was 3 months later, no sod on this field. So the baseball coach had said, hey, let's sod all these areas out. I said, nope, we're not going to sod this. We're going to work on our soil chemistry. We're going to fertility programs, right? And sure enough, we were able to grow some pretty decent grass. I think also the really cool thing about these two pictures is the picture to the left is you can see the color of the field is it still has that kind of limey green color. That's the chemistry continuing to work, and it's a work in progress versus the picture on the right. That picture was taken in April. So the first pictures that you saw were July. The picture to the left was in November, and then the pictures to the right were taken in April. So you can kind of see a progress of the turf and the color picking up and the strength and the of the turf picking up. And so funny story about this field is they got 3.5 inches of rain the week of their season opener. They mowed the next day and they played all 3 of those games that week. This field went from not being able to accept water to took 3.5 inches of rain, and they played this series without a problem. The following week, they got another 4 inches of rain. They mowed the next day and they played all those games. So they had 7 inches of rain in a 2-week period. And because their chemistry had unlocked and we had done lots of really good work with aerification and kind of opening things up, this field was like a sponge and it just took it all up, which was fantastic. So this is Cal Poly San Luis Obispo's field. Next, Jennifer. This is a high school field. This is down in Orange County. This is Santa Margarita Catholic High School in the upper part of Orange County. This was a mess. This was their field last year. So this is how I found their field. This was August of last year. You can see they didn't have a whole lot of grass. This field had not been transitioned very well. This had a Bermuda grass base overseeded with ryegrass, and they had not done a very good job of transitioning this field, obviously, and you can see it was pretty much dead. The outfield was super splotchy and just a real mess. So came in, we did some soil testing on this, we did some aerification, put together some programs for these guys. This is a huge success story here. Jennifer, if you want to click the next 2 there. This is the same field a couple of months later. So this was these pictures were taken right at the start of their baseball season in March. Same field, same angles. You could see we had a really good ryegrass overseed, which was essential. But getting the soil chemistry right, getting the sodium out, understanding, what was causing this field issues down below, we were able to work on that. These guys were totally committed. They wanted a change in their field. They mow this field 3 to 4 days a week. The baseball coaches involved in the maintenance of this field on a daily basis just did a tremendous job. The dirt work completely transformed what we did from a dirt work side on the infield and water management and getting this right. This field was a huge, huge success. And after the season was over, we got into properly transitioning the ryegrass out. Their Bermuda grass went from about 25% on the field to this year, by the time we got to the end of the summer, they were about 80% of a Bermuda grass base. And so we'll show some pictures of that and how their Bermuda grass improved. And that's the key to this whole thing, especially for our fields in the South, for the western part of the United States, the South, the eastern part of the United States, southern part of the eastern part of the United States. Bermuda grass, having that strong foundation and having that great Bermuda grass base is a huge part of the success of a field for a long-term basis. And so anyways, this was Santa Margarita Catholic High School. Jennifer, I think we got one last field we're going to do here. This is a Little League field. This is a Little League field. This is in Woodland Hills area, which is in the Valley of Los Angeles. This is their Bermuda grass base. So this is what the field started off as. And you can see there's very little Bermuda grass on either of these fields. This is a complex of 4 fields. They've got a regulation 60-90 field. They've got a pony field, Bronco field, Mustang, so all different sizes of fields. They go 60-90, 50-70, and then Little League, which is 45-60. So anyways, all different types of fields, but the playing conditions were all the same. And you can see a little bit of a white tinge on top with these pictures. These fields definitely had some salt issues, besides not having any Bermuda grass as a foundation. So came in, we soil tested these fields. We did a lot of really cool work on these fields, and did a lot of aerification, a lot of solid tine aerifying, used leaching mechanisms. We used micro emitters to leach the salts through the profile. We replaced with potassium. This did some really cool things. Jennifer, if you want to click on the next two here, please. And I know you guys are going to look at this and go, this is fake. They turfed this. That is not turf. That's real grass. And this is what this Little League field looked like. This was for their All-Star tournament, which took place in June. This is what these fields look like. So huge transformation in what they've done. This is a field where we really have to work on their Bermuda grass base because there just wasn't any Bermuda. So this was overseeded with ryegrass. We were able to kind of keep kind of a ryegrass Bermuda grass mix during the course of the season. We attempted to try and take the ryegrass out so that we could really push the Bermuda base, and it just doesn't have much of a Bermuda base. These guys will probably be resodding these fields to on the infields to get that Bermuda grass base back. So, but this is a Little League field, and this is after this session, this is what all your fields are going to look like afterwards. So, I hope. So, anyways, next session or next slide. So, anyways. This has been a fun teaser for you guys. Again, these are different fields that we work on. Sand top dressing, aerifying. As you can see, the picture in the middle to the right, those are micro emitters that we use for leaching salts. We have our coaches doing this periodically during the growing season, doing this once a week, just trying to leach all the salts out, but doing it the right way. You can see some Bermuda grass bases. And then finally, UC Irvine's baseball field down below. That is an anteater. If any of you have never seen an anteater before, that's what an anteater looks like painted on your field. So anyways, as I mentioned again, we'll see you guys in Daytona Beach Wednesday, January 24th at 8 a.m. Jennifer, you can go to the last slide there, please. This is my contact information. If you'd like to reach out to me beforehand, if there's anything you want to touch upon, or if you want to get together beforehand or after, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you all the information I can get you and help you get you guys' fields correct. So please feel free, email me. That's my cell phone number. Text me, reach out to me, give me a call. Anything I can do to help you before we get to the session together. And then obviously once we're there together, I'm all yours for as long as you can take me there. So anyways, Jennifer, that's it. Thank you for having me, and looking forward to meeting everybody and seeing everybody in Florida in January.
Paul, if you have time, I'd like to open up the chat for just a quick Q&A. So we'll take the next couple minutes. If anybody has any questions and you want to throw it in the Q&A chat section there down at the bottom, we'll give everybody a minute or two. And Paul, if you have a minute,
I do.
If you have any immediate questions. We appreciate all the information. I know this is going to be a really informative talk in Daytona, so I know everybody's really looking forward to it. Okay, last call for questions.
I've already worn them out already, Jennifer, and we haven't even started the real thing yet.
A lot of great information. Yeah, a lot of great
I will be throwing candy at you guys during our session to keep you all awake, and it's fun to get you guys engaged. So we'll toss some candy, we'll have some fun. This is going to be fun. I'm high energy, be walking around all over the place. We'll have some fun with this.
We do have a quick question from Joshua. Do you have a preferred rate of application for a podium as a PGR? Field is in the Pacific Northwest ryegrass?
Yeah, I think, and not getting into specific types, it is always better, Josh, to go at lighter rates and go more frequent. I think, if we look at PGRs, you could certainly go up into the 3/4 or an ounce, but what you'll end up doing is you'll end up dinging it. You will get long-term usage out of it, or an effect out of it, but you'll take a chance of dinging it. You'll take a chance of turning it yellow, which is not great during the wintertime. It really depends on the grass. With our warm season grasses, we'll go all the way up to a 1/2 ounce per thousand with our PGRs, and we'll do that on a bi-weekly basis. And we'll tie that in with a little bit of nitrogen. I like to put a little bit of methylene urea in there, a little bit of iron, a little bit of manganese, use some humic acid and some different things, fish extract, those sort of things. So it's cool to always, whenever you do an application of a PGR, tie it in with a little bit of nitrogen, a little bit of iron. It really, really helps with the application and the uptake of it. For ryegrass or cool season grasses where you're at up in your region, probably looking to go maybe a little bit lighter, anywhere between a 1/4 ounce to a 1/2 an ounce, and do it a little more frequently would probably be my recommendation to you. And I hope that helps. And feel free, if you want to give me a call, text me, email me. We can talk more about this too if you've got more questions on it.
Okay. Looks like we got one more question coming in. Yep, Josh is just saying thanks a bunch. That I did apply last spring at a higher rate and got yellowing, maybe from POA.
Yeah, light and frequent, Josh. That's and I know we don't like loading the sprayer up. It's a pain in the neck. But I would just say, as a part of our fertilities, the pictures you saw on here, Josh, it's a combination. We're doing about 75% granular applications and about 25% spraying. So it's good to have that good mix of both of them going on. You don't want to be just feeding all foliarly. You don't want to be just feeding all through the roots. Is a good little combination of both. So yeah, instead of doing the one application and dinging it and turning it yellow and it takes forever for it to come out, is get into doing more frequent applications every 2 or 3 weeks. Is kind of the sweet spot. And I think if you do that, I think you're going to have some huge successes with it.
Yeah, it looks like that's all the questions we had. We appreciate your time, Paul, and all the great information today.
Awesome. We'll look forward to seeing you guys in January in sunny Florida. So
looking forward to it. Thanks everyone for attending, and a recording will be available soon on the SFMA website. Thanks again, Paul.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.